Sunday Bloody Sunday is a rock song by U2. It's based on an incident in Derry, Ireland, in 1972, where the British troops killed 14 unarmed civils who were protesting against internment. There have also been many stories told about how the band's name is taken from the U2 spy plane. And those stories gained favor with the connection of the famous Francis Gary Powers U2 incident, which occurred on May 1, 1960, and the fact that Bono was born just 9 days later.
U2 is a rock band, alternative rock and post-punk. They belong to the new wave. Originally from Dublin, it was formed in 1976 by Bono, vocals, The Edge, guitar, keyboards and vocals, Adam Clayton, bass and Larry Mullen, drums. U2's early sound was rooted in post-punk, but then began to incorporate the most popular music genres. Bono writes almost all U2 lyrics, frequently using religious, social, political themes and issues of social justice and peace. They have been from the beginning a band on a mission. With each album and concert, the Irish quartet has created music of lasting worth and substance. Bono's high-profile works for causes like Third World Debt Relief, and is also widely known for his activism concerning Africa. He has organized and played in several benefit concerts, and he has met with influential politicians. At various points in their career, U2 have been not only the most popular band in the world, but also one of the most important. To understand the conflicts between Ireland and England, we should go back at least 4,000 years ago. Ireland was a colonized territory settled by the Celts. The conflict started to generate during the 5th century, when the first Catholic missionaries reached the island and began to evangelize the population, hence the famous St. Patrick. From here, Ireland becomes a predominantly Catholic country, along with the Scottish and the British, so that by the 12th century the British Isles were all Catholic population. The conflict begins to germinate in the 16th century with the emergence of Henry VIII, who broke with the Catholic Church and whose daughter Elizabeth founded the Anglican Church, which covered much of the UK. By the 15th century, the British had invaded Ireland, so when Queen Elizabeth imposed her people the practice of Anglicanism, also intended to do it with the inhabitants of the island, who decided to remain faithful to their Catholic religion, and not only for religious reasons, but rather political, because they expected the Pope to help them achieve their independence from the British, which ultimately did not happen. The northern part of the island was much more fertile and richer than the south, so that those who refused to convert to Anglicanism were stripped of their lands by the crown, being forced to migrate to the south part of the island. British stayed in the north, in the area called Ulster, the current Northern Ireland, whose capital is Belfast. In 1921, the Irish achieved their independence from UK, except Ulster, which caused the eruption of the conflict, as it was intended to have the complete independence of the island. People from Ulster are predominantly Protestant, which discriminated the minority Catholic, and in Catholic majority areas Anglicans were also discriminated. In this atmosphere of repression against the Catholic, Irish Republican Army emerged as an armed group seeking to oust the Anglicans by force, to thereby unifying the territory of Ulster with the rest of the island.
Bono started writing this lyrics with political connotations, condemning the Irish Republican Army, the IRA, a militant group dedicated to getting British troops out of Northern Ireland. He changed them to point out the atrocities of war without taking sides. The lyrics are a non-partisan condemnation of the historic bloodshed in Ireland. Bono's lyrics in the song are more about interpersonal struggles than about the actual Bloody Sunday events. He used to introduce this at concerts by saying, "This is not a rebel song." While performing this piece of music, Bono would have a white flag as a call for peace. Bono was trying to contrast the 1972 Bloody Sunday massacre with Easter Sunday, a peaceful day that both Protestant and Catholics celebrate. The 1988 documentary Rattle and Home includes a particularly renowned version of the song recorded on the 8th of November 1987 at the McNichols Arena in Denver, Colorado. On this version, Bono's mid-song rant angrily and emphatically condemns the Remembrance Day bombing that had occurred earlier that same day in the northern Irish town of Enniskillen. Although the original song was written with a political foundation condemning the Irish Republican Army, he changed the lyrics to point out the atrocities of war without taking sides. Therefore, his comment during the Rattle and Home documentary was not out of place. Out of the two videos, video 1 clearly helps viewers to understand better the meaning of the lyrics. The illustrations help us to understand what happened on that particular day as they revive the facts that occurred on the 30th of January 1972. We see the video as a tribute to the victims of that day. However, the second seems to be just a video from a concert the band gave in Denver and does not help the viewer to understand what the lyrics say. It is worth mentioning that in the middle of this recording there is a declaration to non-violence done by Bono. The videos have not changed our point of view with respect to the song. However, they have enriched our knowledge about what occurred on that particular day. Although initially the song had political connotations, this was later changed. The song has since then been used as a call for peace, with the white flag being shown when sung in a concert. We agreed with the removal of all political connotations to the song and the fact that it is nowadays used as a peace symbol.
The national holiday is the 17th of March, in honor of the patron saint of Ireland, San Patricio, St. Patrick in English, or in Irish Badrag, who promoted Christianity in the Iceland. The harp, which appears on the shield of the province of Leinster, and three-leaf clover are also symbols which identify the Irish. Gaelic football and hurling are the most famous sports in Ireland, especially in the countryside. Gaelic football is a mix of soccer, rugby and handball. Hurling is like hockey. The national and official language of Ireland is Irish, like English. However, 99% of the population speak English and less than 5% speak Gaelic newspaper. 95% of the population is Catholic, least 4% is Protestant. Catholicism has influenced Ireland and its culture, moderating the evolution of customs. The best way to learn is to discuss with the Irish. The Irish education system is very effective. School is compulsory from 6 to 15 years. There are 3 levels. The primary education gets from 5 to 12 years. The secondary education from 12 till 18 years. And there is a higher education. It is a free public system controlled by the Roman Catholic Church and Ireland. Schools are not mixed and students must wear an uniform. The Irish climate is an oceanic temperate climate with strong winds. The temperature do not fluctuate much. In winter, the temperature gets from 5 till 7 centigrades, and in summer from 14 to 16 grades. The definition of the concept of stranger is an individual who is a member of a system but who is not strongly attached to that system. The stranger is often viewed with suspicion because of the uncertainty and unpredictability of his behavior. Taking into account the concept, we can relate it to the Protestants and Catholics coexistence in Ulster. Although they share the same territory, they were and still are strangers among themselves, with no one taking each other's customs, values, etc. We think if they had been more integrated in each other's culture, this horrible incident would have never happened.
Sleight of hand and twist of fate, on a bed of nails she makes me wait, and I wait without you.